said, apply the 7. And the 7 is apparently everybody knew this in the 1400s, because he didn't have to explain what the 7 meant, and everybody knew it, and they're not written down too many places, and it really is the 7-step analysis of the cart, okay, which everybody knew in the 1400s. Samasta Nagarjuna, the second Buddha they called him, a method to establish emptiness. He goes, establish emptiness of your mind with these 7 things. Look for a part of your mind that has nature of mind, the way your mind is, right? Find it in you. He says, use the 7. You with me already?
Yes.
Woo! And instead of cart, because we've got cars now, we can use cards. Yeah. So we're going to use, because it's got the word cart in it. Cart. The first one he's going to say is, can you find a car in the parts individually? I want you just to write them down, think about it. Next week we'll talk about it in depth. I want to do this to about 3 different proofs of emptiness. I want them in your head. I want you to hurt. When I first got this, it hurt. And then I try to think, why are we talking? Like I would get lost and I'd realize how stupid I was. But that was enough seed for this information to give you a different view. Okay. So think about it. Do you think when you look at a car or pen, is it in the parts individually, in each of the parts? Yeah? Is it? This is the second one, it's a really stupid one. Is car in anything outside the parts? Right?
First, we will need to define what are the parts.
Is it dependent on, and we're talking here always a self-existent car, a self-existent pen, like we think it exists, yeah? Not now that we're good Majjhimika philosophers. I'm saying, unexamined, I asked Joe from the street, find me a car, you think this is a car, or you think this is a pen? Where is the car? Is it in the parts of the car? This part, not the wheel, the hood, etc. Is that where car is? In this part? Is that what car is? In this part? And so on. Or is it in something other than all these things together? And then these 2 come together sort of. Is car dependent upon something else that it's supporting it? And in Buddhist philosophy, dependent upon in this translation is relating to something that sits on top, that is supported by something. Or, number 4, does it support car? Yeah? Are the parts dependent upon car? So the parts supported by this thing car. 5, is this thing car hold its part, like you possess items in your life? Yeah? 6, is the car the parts all together as a collection? And 7, which was only really as an answer to a particular school at the time, is the car its shape and it's the outline. When you see this particular configuration, you think, oh, it's in there, right? So we're going to think about those. Someone wrote them down because I'm going to move forward. Hold!
Thank you. I got it.
Yeah.
Can we answer the questions?
No, not today, not in detail. Think about it in your head, yeah? Because I don't want to have a debate about it here. But I want to push it a little bit enough. I'm going to give another round at this. I just wanted to give you the summary first. So these are the 7, okay? He's saying, this thing called car, we'll use car, and then you can apply car to yourself, to the pen, to my life, to everything, yeah? Because what's the thing? If you find a self-existent, a thing that is emanating, radiating essence car, then you found it. Then you can always get car. And if you found it for car, you can find it for human, you can find it for you can find it for happiness, you can find it for anything. Right?
Yeah.
If you don't, if you come up empty, it should lead you a different route to engage with life. Here it goes. I did a drawing for you. What was the first one?
Can you find car in the parts of the car?
Yeah, individually, right? So just see, is car over here? Like it's almost stupid, but you've got to go through it, because if you break it down, you'll see how you are operating in a misassumption. You saying this is a car, right? Overall, we established that when an elephant comes here, he doesn't think car. In fact, what's that story of? Oh, okay, it was this famous story of a circus. Apparently, it's a true story of a circus that was traveling around, and the big elephant was so used to sitting on those drums, the red drums, and someone parked their brand new red mini thing near the circus, and the elephant thought, not car, thought big drum where you sit your bum on, right? And it completely crushed the car. I think I saw it in a movie called Bliss from 1985 in Australia. Watch that movie, it's stunning. But he tells the story of an elephant perceiving a car as a sit my bum on a drum. Okay? So we think this thing is a car, like we think pen is a pen, like you think you're human, and like you think you gotta die like you gotta die, and you think that things function the way you see them only, and you're stuck in that view, and you think it's true like you think the pen is true. And if you can see, truly see, first intellectually, because you're going through the pain of understanding it, and then if you can see through meditation and through experience that it's not at all like that, not at all like that, so far off, you're shocked. Then everything is possible. Things are infinite potential. You don't have to live the life you're living. You don't have to suffer the pains and sorrows of outrageous fortunes like you do. Will they still happen to humans? Oh yeah, that's what humans were caused. They have a knowable parameter of existence. Does your consciousness have to remain stuck there? Are you the same as that? Are you less than that? Are you more than that? If you come to understand the silly drawing about the car, and you can apply it to you as a sentient, existing, aware and known, you can break free of what limits you. And this can be the most beautiful thing you've ever seen. And this can be the most beautiful thing you've ever seen. And someone else might see it as crap. And both are true. Like the dog, the chew toy, the human, the pen. So, the proof number one is, can you find car in the parts individually? Can you find car in the wheel? Look, no, it's a wheel. Yeah, it's like a stupid question, but you got to go through it. Okay, what was number two? Is it something outside the car? Is car over there, separate from all that stuff you've already labeled car? Is that where car is? Aaron Nagarjuna is asking. I've made it so stupid that you think, what a silly question, but you must think that if it's not in the parts, right? No, you said. What was number three?
Is the car dependent on its parts?
Is there something, car, that's dependent on these parts? Now, dependence implies separateness. Right? It implies that if I'm dependent on something else, it's dependent on something else. Right? It implies that there's a separation. So is car separate and somehow being held up by these parts we collectively know are the car, or think are the car? No. Think about it, okay? And then the number four is the same but opposite, right? It's like, then are the parts supported by this thing called car? Is that what car is? This thing that supports that, right? Think about it. Number five was, does this thing, magical blue shiny thing called car that you hold to be a true thing, is that hold its parts? Is it possessing the parts? Is that what it is? And number five was? Sorry, six. That's right. The collection together. If you put these things in that configuration, is a car. For humans, sure. But is it car? Is it car? So Master Nagarjuna is trying to find a self-existent car. Don't get mixed up because you've been studying where things come from. Just find the plain self-existent car. The thing in those objects that is emanating car. And would emanate it to the elephant. And it won't sit on it because it says, oh, that's a car. Not a car.
It would still be the same, but it wouldn't function the same. It would still be the,
So when he says
Would it be car? Chichedya.
I mean, you're saying the label? Would it be the
That's what
label
I'm saying.
part?
I'm saying don't be a smart Buddhist answering. I'm
No.
saying be a nominal human answering.
No, I mean, if you change the languages, there wouldn't be car.
But it's an item, right? Something.
Sure.
Yeah? And number 7 was the outline, right? So is that configuration or that look and feel of the thing, is that what makes you say car? Is that shape, when you look at it, you say car? An elephant will say car. Yeah?
I don't know if this applies or not, but if you're taking organic chemistry and you're looking at a carbon molecule, it has to have a very distinct, how many bonds and all of that. And that's
Perfect. Yeah.
what it is.
That's what it is. Yeah, but why is it that way? Is it because the parts coming together call it that kind of molecule? Is that kind of molecule for everybody that experiences that molecule? Or is that understanding of that molecule dependent upon the mind that perceives it in that manner? Do we have a convention about how that molecule exists?
Well, I guess I'm thinking about it, there's all sorts of mathematical equations that always seem to end up repeatedly coming to the same answer based
Sure.
on a collective agreement.
No problem with a collective agreement. I've got no problem. I'm saying independent of just human eyes. What is that stuff? Why do these particular human eyes see that as a molecule? I'm not saying it doesn't. It's not a molecule that you can't define. I'm not saying that. That's a car. But not the elephant you said. And the point I'm trying to make is not that things don't exist like that. Sorry, they don't exist. I'm saying they don't exist like that only. Yes, we have a parameter that forces us to experience a universe in a very specific way to us. That's what makes us human. But that's not the only way. That's not the only way. If we prove it because there are other beings that perceive it a different way. Yeah? That we can agree that we all see it that way, no problem. So let's put all the people that are colorblind in charge of color charts. And all of us, all the rest of us are retarded. Yeah? They're in charge of color charts and we are not. Then we have to agree with them. That's a convention, no problem if we agree. Or let's put the Incas in charge of drawing world maps, and south would be facing up in all maps drawn by Incas. And we'd have to have North America down here, and the tip of South America up there. And that's true for Incas. No problem. I'm not saying things don't function. We covered that, right? I'm saying let's find the thing that functions separate to you as human, by itself that way. That's what we're trying to get to, because if you get there, this is subtle and profound. If you get there, human is just a minute speck of possibility for you. But I like it here, except when I don't. And I'm not saying you're shooting off to Mars or anything. Inside of this, what do you think all these people are talking about? Infinite potential, universes in you. What do you, that people that really have touched that, what do you think they're talking about? Universe in a grain of sand, in your palm of your hand. They're talking about an experience that you can have, that is outside that dark circle. That dark circle means, oh damn, I'm human. Oh damn, I'm not. Oh damn, I see a red car. Oh damn, I see a drum. Oh damn, chew toy. Oh damn, pen. Oh damn, pen ran out. Why is that pen running out? I bought pens. Think about these, okay? Because that was last class. Now we're getting to this class. Okay? But I'm happy to talk about it next class after you've thought about them. There are 5 classical proofs of emptiness, but when you press someone to say, how many proofs of emptiness are we going to cover? Right? We're going to probably cover a few of these 5, but how many are there? And the answer from a good Majjhimika Prasangika would be infinite. Because you're proving something that is. Anyway, you've heard of the proof of one or many. Today I'm going to touch on the sliver of diamond reasoning, also from Arya Nagarjuna. The denial that things which exist or do not exist that they could arise, the denial that things that could arise through the 4 possibilities, and the king of reasoning I'll touch on tonight as well. So I'm going to probably give you 2 of these tonight, I think, just to load your mind, okay? And then at the end, when I talk about the king of reasoning, I want to put together all the conversation about schools and what emptiness is and dependent origination is and what it is we're trying to prove and how that can help you. Okay, but I need to download first. Okay, since we're coming to the head class. Woo. Okay. Remember I told you that in India it was like, why are phones sharp? Why are peas round? That's a point. Ask yourself the questions that at some point you stopped asking. And for me, the question that keeps popping up is when Lady Diana died, and she was, when you say, why did she die, right? And people can give you all sorts of answers. Why did the person in that car crash die and not the driver or not the other person? And you can say, well, she was on the left side and that's where the column was, right? Or she chose to sit on the, yeah, but you, as a child, you go, but why did she sit on the left side? Right? Oh, because she wasn't driving, right? But yeah, but why wasn't she driving? Oh, because she's a, why did she become a princess? Or you could ask the coroner and says, oh, fracture to the frontal, whatever, you give me some language, cortex, caused the whatever to something and dead, right? So we answer those questions. That's why she died, right? Oh, but why? Why did someone that had a similar injury didn't die and she died? Oh, because at some point, Mum said, "Shut up. It just is like that." And honestly, if we're honest, science says that, our world says that. At some point, we either say it's too complex to explain, or we stopped asking the question, but we never lose the question. The question sits there, I know, because if you're connecting to what I'm saying, then you're like, yeah, I want to know that. I want to know the whys and the whys and the whys. I did everything right. I went to university. Why do I hate my career? They told me I would like it. I worked hard. Why am I not wealthy? Are all people that work hard wealthy? Is that where wealthy comes from? The worldview where, I'm going to propose this, right? The worldview that we live by is incomplete because you saw the proof about where the car came from was incomplete, right? There was something the car comes from, and we couldn't answer it with those certain proofs. And it's dysfunction. Our view is both incomplete and dysfunction. It doesn't work. Haven't you figured it out? I keep asking. What we're trying, our strategies to figure out life don't work the way we expect them to. I'm not saying to depress you, not to be afraid, just to figure it out. There's actually an answer. There's an answer. It might be uncomfortable, but there's an answer. It might be difficult, but there's an answer. It's better than running around blind. And that's why we're talking about these things. So, really, why, when you hit hammer to nail, does it go into the wood? Why? Because force. The wood is soft. Right? Yeah, but the arm held it and he pushed it, and it was like energy, right? So do all hammers that hit nails drive nails into wood? when you move from here to there, let's go, you go across town, get in a taxi, and you go across town. Does getting in a taxi cause you to go across town? Yes, if we go across town. No, if the taxi gets stopped. Some people try to get in a taxi and get shouted at by someone else and never make it. Do taxis cross town? Got to think this way to try and uncover your prejudices, okay? Why does the sun come up? Does the sun come up? For the person that died tonight, will the sun come up? Does the sun come up? Actually, it doesn't, right? The earth goes around the sun. Shut up. Okay. You know the play. Thank you. Fun. The famous one, you know, you buy the food with your cash, hard-earned dollars. Does that cause, does money cause the guacamole you're about to eat?
Yes.
Does it? So you must pay him money when you eat it. I will. We think this way though. We work hard, we earn money, we run to the supermarket, and we expect that we're going to get guacamole, let's go, right? With money. Do you sometimes turn up to the supermarket with money and you can't find guac? Does money cause guac in the supermarket? No, even science says a cause must always necessarily give the result. Got to think these questions. Why are thorns sharp? Why are these round? Why did he die and not she? So, mushi. What causes certain things to happen? Quickly, let's think about watermelon seed. That a seed produces watermelons, right? We all believe that. It's sort of aligned with our Buddhist thinking. Seeds cause things, right? Here's Master Nagarjuna, second Buddha, going, let's have a look at these four things. He asks himself, do things cause themselves? Are things there just because? Did Lady Diana die just because? Did her fracture happen just because? Do nails go into wood just because nails go into wood? Do watermelon seeds produce watermelons because watermelon seeds produce watermelons? Just because? No, because watermelon seeds don't cause themselves, because watermelon seeds don't make watermelon seeds, they make watermelons. Are they caused by something else, self-existently? Okay? Is there something else that caused the watermelon? We believe that, right? We think, yep, the seed made it. Master Nagarjuna says no. There can't be a seed that is seed from its own side that produces watermelon. If it did, a self-existent seed, this should shock you. Produce a watermelon, then it must every time cause a watermelon. And sometimes watermelons don't come from watermelon seeds. They don't produce watermelons. Yeah? Bummer? Third, he asks these four questions, right? Are they because of both 1 and 2 together? Is it a mixer of the two we just said no? Is that why things work? Why the nail went in and why a watermelon came and why thorns are sharp? Is it because both somehow the sharpness came by itself and was produced by something outside the... No. And do they come without a cause at all? Is there nothing that caused them? Right? So your brain should now feel heavy, and it should feel like, well, what's the answer? Someone please give me the answer. Because I don't want to work it out. I want someone to work it out for me. Hector, give me the answer. Tell me what Master Nagarjuna said, and then I'll figure it out, okay? Just tell me. I don't want to think about it. It's just stupid questions. This is too hard. Right? So I'm going to give you the sliver of diamond proof, and then we're going to have a quick break. To answer those questions, he gives this statement But what's Dorje? Sorry. Diamond, right? What's diamond meaning here? It's Dorje Sempa Sekme, sorry. Tensi is proof, but Sekme means segment or part of or sliver, yeah? And Dorje is diamond. And the reason we're talking about, and you see in Buddhist philosophy diamond often, is because the thing we're talking about, emptiness, the fact that things don't have a nature from their own side, is an ultimate truth close to what a diamond is as an ultimate hard thing in our existence, in our normal existence. The hardest thing in the universe we know is a diamond. Nothing else can scratch a diamond other than another diamond. So the word sliver of diamond or Dorje Sekme is important because it's talking about parts of that diamond, parts of emptiness. The implication here is that when you have a direct communion, a direct experience as a realization with this idea that things don't have a nature of their own, that when you go looking for that solid something that is emanating isness from its own side, you come up empty. When you actually feel that as an experience, the sliver of diamond you're tasting is exactly 100%, no more, no less than a Buddha is having every moment of their experience that any other Arya has had in any other realized being, any other wise being on the planet that has had this experience. It's exactly the same, all knowing that the true nature of all existence is like this, devoid of having a nature from its own side. That you finally have as a realization, not as a thought anymore, an experience that you're not even aware of yourself while you're having it. But when you come out of it, you relabel and say, whoa, I just saw an ultimate thing. And the closest thing that comes to an ultimate is a diamond. And every part of a diamond is molecularly equal to every other part. It's like a perfect carbon molecule. So your experience of that, and an Arya's experience of that, and a Buddhist experience of that is not any different at all. 100% exactly the same. So the name of this proof, sliver of diamond, is pointing to the fact that you can have this experience, that is you can touch an ultimate thing. Yeah? And this is his quote. He says, "Things grow neither from themselves nor from something else, nor do they grow from both, nor without any cause at all. There is no working thing at all, in any place at all, which ever grew in any way at all, like the way you think it does." Yeah? So I want you to think about that, because if your world comes from something, and you think that something is out there, like by itself, out there, I just got that shitty boss just because, or I got that bad relationship just because, or I got broke just because, or it was caused by something. That one we sort of believe on, right? We live our lives believing that something else caused it, that my money made the taxi go cross town, or bought my food, or we believe that one, we function by that one, but it doesn't work all the time, which means it doesn't work at all. Because if it worked, it should work all the time. Are you following me? Yeah, losing, yeah. So in your life, you're behaving like number 2 of Master Nagarjuna's disproving. Something's making your world happy and you think it's out there. And he's just showing you that ain't true. It's not that way. And it's not by itself. And it's not by itself all that way. And it's not nothing. And you're like, what is it, Hector? Tell me. No, go have some guac and we'll just meet at 9 o'clock. Okay? Yay! You have a break. Damn, you're all very silent.